Stop aiming for $1 million. Seriously, stop it right now. If your financial plan in 2026 is still, I want to be a millionaire, you are unknowingly planning to be poor. We have been brainwashed by a number that was invented in the 1980s. In 1985, if you had a net worth of $1 million, you were effectively royalty. You could buy a massive house, a vacation home, 2 luxury cars, put your kids through college, and still have enough interest income to never work another day in your life. You won the game. But today, in 2026, a net worth of $1 million doesn't make you wealthy. It makes you barely middle class. In some coastal cities, $1 million net worth just means you own a 2-bedroom apartment and drive a 5-year-old Toyota. I have the official 2026 Federal Reserve and inflation data in front of me, and it is absolutely terrifying. The goalposts haven't just moved. They have been ripped out of the ground, loaded onto a rocket, and launched into orbit. If you think you're doing okay because you have a house and a 401k, you might actually be one bad month away from total ruin. So what is the real number? How much money do you actually need to stop worrying? Today, I'm going to tear apart the traditional net worth model and show you the new wealth hierarchy. We are going to calculate your real rank in America based on your age, and I'm going to introduce you to the concept of liquid agency, the only metric that actually matters. But first, we have to fix the broken way you keep score. Most of you are tracking net worth the way the banks taught you. Assets minus liabilities. It's the number you brag about at dinner parties. You say, "Oh, I'm worth $700,000. No, you're not. You're broke. And here's why. The average American has nearly 65% of their net worth trapped in their primary residence. Let's play out a scenario. Let's say you are 40 years old. You bought a nice house for $600,000. You have a mortgage, but you have some equity. You have 2 cars in the driveway. You have $50,000 in a retirement account that you can't touch until you're 60. And you have $5,000 in your checking account. On paper, your net worth might be $500,000. You feel successful. You feel like you're winning. But then, you lose your job. Or the economy crashes. Or you have a massive medical emergency. Suddenly, that net worth is useless. You cannot go to the grocery store and pay for food with your bathroom tiles. You cannot pay your electric bill with your drywall. You cannot pay your health insurance with the Kelley Blue Book value of your SUV. Unless you sell your house and go live under a bridge, that money is fake. It is trapped equity. I call people in this situation paper tigers. They look fierce and wealthy on a spreadsheet, but they are fragile in the real world. A slight breeze, a recession, a layoff, an unexpected bill will knock them over. The banks love paper tigers. They love net worth because it makes you feel safe enough to borrow more debt. They want you to feel wealthy on paper, so you keep financing renovations, buying new cars, and taking out HELOCs. They want you to leverage your trapped equity to buy more liabilities. But the wealthy, the top 1%, they don't look at net worth the way you do. They look at LNW, liquid net worth. This is the cash, stocks, bonds, and crypto you can access in 24 hours without destroying your life. If your total net worth is $1 million, but your liquid net worth is $50,000, you aren't a millionaire. You are a person with $50,000 who happens to live in an expensive box. So, right now, I want you to do a brutal calculation. Pause the video if you have to. Take your total net worth and subtract your house. Subtract your cars. Subtract your furniture and your jewelry. The number left over? That is your real score. Is it negative? Is it 0? Is it way lower than you thought? Good. Hold on to that fear. That fear is the only thing that will save you. Because now, we need to see where you rank against the rest of the herd. I pulled the latest data adjusted for 2026 inflation. We need to look at the median versus the average, because the average is a lie. The average is skewed by the billionaires. If Jeff Bezos walks into a bar full of broke people, the average net worth in that bar becomes $1 billion. But everyone is still broke. We care about the median, the distinct middle of the pack. The average Joe. Let's go decade by decade. If you are in your 20s right now, this is the negative zone. The average net worth is technically around $120,000, but that's skewed by young tech founders and trust fund kids. The median net worth for Americans in their 20s is roughly $10,000. But even that is misleading because that includes assets like cars. The median liquid net worth for a 20-something is often negative due to student loans. If you are 25 years old and you have zero debt and $5,000 in cash, you are actually ahead of 60% of your generation. The bar is on the floor. Now, let's move to the 30s. This is the danger zone, the messy middle. The average net worth is around $192,000. But the median? It's only $35,000. Think about that. You have been working for 10, maybe 12 years. You have a degree. You have a career. And the median result is 35 grand. That is terrifying. Why is it so low? Because your 30s are expensive. This is when people buy the house, have the wedding, have the kids, and pay for daycare. In 2026, the average cost of daycare is almost equal to a second mortgage. So, if you are 35 and you have $36,000 to your name, you are technically doing better than half the country. But let's be honest, 36,000 is a joke. One bad year, one transmission failure, one layoff, and that is gone. That isn't wealth. That's pre-poverty. Now, look at your 40s. The median jumps to $135,000. This is where the trap fully closes. You have a mortgage, 2 cars, maybe teenage kids. You look richer. You have the nice yard and the barbecue grill. But your expenses are skyrocketing. You are earning more money than ever, but you are saving less percentage-wise because of lifestyle creep. You are running faster just to stay in the same place. In your 50s? The median is $312,000. This is the part that keeps me up at night. You are 10 years away from retirement, and you have 300 grand. Let's do the math on that. The 4% rule says you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio per year in retirement. 4% of 300,000 is $12,000 a year. That is $1,000 a month. Can you live on $1,000 a month in 2036? Can you pay for food, heat, property taxes, and healthcare on $1,000? No. You will be eating cat food. You will be greeting people at Walmart until you are 85. The median path in America is a suicide mission. The average is a failing grade. If you are average in America, you are destined to work until the day your body gives out. So, what is the number to actually be free? To be in the top 1%? To be top 1% in your 30s, you need $3.6 million. In your 40s, $7.1 million. In your 50s, $13.7 million. Those numbers sound impossible, don't they? They sound like you have to win the lottery or invent the next Facebook. But here is the secret. The top 1% benchmark is vanity. You don't need to be in the top 1% to be happy. The data shows that after a certain point, around $5 million, money stops buying happiness and just buys more complexity and stress. You don't need $13 million to be free, but you do need to reach level 3. Forget the millions for a second. Wealth isn't a single number. It's a freedom level. I view wealth as a video game with 5 distinct levels. Most people spawn at level 1 and die at level 1. Let's find out where you are right now and what it takes to level up. Level 1 is dependence. This is where 30% to 40% of America lives. Your net worth is negative or zero. You own more than you own. You are a servant to the bank, the credit card company, and your employer. If you stop working for 1 month, the system collapses. You lose the car, you miss rent, you damage your credit. The psychological state of level 1 is constant, low-level panic. You are forced to make bad decisions because you lack the cash to make good ones. You buy cheap boots that break every year because you can't afford the expensive ones that last 10 years. It is expensive to be poor. Level 2 is survival. This is the first major milestone. You have zero consumer debt, no credit cards, no car notes. You might still have the mortgage, that's fine. But crucially, you have $10,000 in liquid cash. Why 10,000? Why not 1,000? Because $1,000 isn't enough anymore. In 2026, a single trip to the ER or a transmission replacement costs $3,000. 10,000 is the psychological safety threshold. When you have 10 grand in the bank, your shoulders drop. The cortisol stops pumping through your veins at 3 a.m. You stop fighting with your spouse about money. You are not rich, but you are safe. You have bought your way out of immediate danger. Level 3 is agency. This is the sweet spot. This is the goal. Level 3 is where you have 5 years of living expenses saved in liquid, invested assets. Let's say you spend $60,000 a year to live comfortably. 5 years of expenses is $300,000. Why is this called agency? Because agency means you have the power to say no. If your boss screams at you, you can quit. If your industry collapses, you can take 2 years off to retrain or start a business. If you want to move across the country, you can. You aren't rich in the luxury sense. You aren't flying private or buying Ferraris, but you own your time. You are no longer a slave to a paycheck. You work because you want to, not because you will starve next week. This is truly wealthy for 99% of people. If you reach level 3, you have won the game. Everything after this is just extra credit. Level 4 is independence. This is the traditional FIRE number, financial independence, retire early. The math here is simple. You have 25 times your annual expenses invested. If you spend $60,000 a year, you need $1.5 million. At this level, your money makes enough money to pay for your life forever. You never have to work again. This is where you are mathematically free. Level 5 is generational. This is 10 million plus. This is dynasty wealth. Your money makes so much money that you can't even spend the interest. Your kids won't have to work. Your grandkids won't have to work. This is the level of private jets and foundations. Here is the tragedy I see in the comments section every day. You are killing yourself trying to get to level 5, when level 3 is all you need to be happy. You are trading your actual life, your weekends, your health, your time with your kids, chasing a number like $10 million. You are stressed out of your mind because you only have 500,000. You don't realize that at level 3, with 300,000 liquid, you already have more freedom than a billionaire who is leveraged to the eyeballs in debt. But there is a catch. Of course there is. There is a massive, invisible monster that is eating your wealth while you sleep. A monster that makes all these numbers harder to hit every single year. Lifestyle creep and inflation. Let's talk about shadow inflation. The government tells us inflation is 3%. That's a lie. That's based on a basket of goods that includes cheap TVs and digital subscriptions. But the things you actually need to survive, housing, healthcare, food, insurance, those are inflating at 7 to 10% a year. In 1994, the movie Pulp Fiction came out. A good shake cost $5. And in the movie, John Travolta complains that $5 is expensive for a shake. Today, go to a Five Guys or a Shake Shack. A milkshake is $14. By 2036, that smoothie will be $22. This destroys your retirement math. If you are 30 years old today and you think $1 million is enough to retire, you are using 2026 math for a 2060 problem. To have the purchasing power of $1 million today, in 30 years, you will actually need $2.4 million. Let that sink in. That means if your target is $1 million, you are actually aiming for the equivalent of $400,000 in today's purchasing power. That is poverty-level wealth for a retiree. The rule of 72 is a finance concept that says your money doubles every 7 to 10 years in the stock market. That's great. But the rule of inflation says your money's value is halved every 20 years. You are fighting a war on two fronts. You are trying to grow your pile of money, while inflation is trying to burn it down. This is why saving is a scam. You cannot save your way to wealth. You have to invest your way out of the trap. If your money is sitting in a savings account earning 0.1% interest, or even a high-yield account earning 4%, you are barely breaking even after taxes and real inflation. You are running on a treadmill. To hit level 3 and level 4, you need assets. You need equities. You need real estate. You need things that rise with inflation. So let's look at the psychology of the first $100,000 versus the first million. Charlie Munger, the late billionaire, famously said, the first $100,000 is AB*TCH, but you gotta do it. Why? Because of the math of compounding. To go from $0 to $100,000 is a brutal grind. It's mostly your own labor. You have to save, scrape, and hustle. The market isn't helping you much. But once you hit 100,000, the money starts to work for you. At a 10% return, your 100,000 makes $10,000 a year. That's like having a robotic employee working part-time for you. By the time you hit 500,000, that robotic employee is making $50,000 a year. That's a full salary. This is why the rich get richer. Their money works harder than they do. So how do we escape the trap? How do we move from level 1 to level 3 in this rigged economy? Step 1, the audit. Stop lying to yourself. Stop tracking total net worth. It's a vanity metric. Start tracking liquid net worth. Open a spreadsheet. List your cash, stocks, bonds, and crypto. Subtract your consumer debt. If you can't spend it in 24 hours, don't count it. The goal is to watch this number go up, month over month. If your house goes up in value but your liquid net worth goes down, you are becoming poorer, not richer. Step 2. The agency target. Calculate your annual expenses. Multiply by 5. That is your level 3 target. Write that number down. Tattoo it on your brain. That is the finish line for survival. Before you buy the BMW, before you upgrade the kitchen, ask yourself, does this get me closer to level 3, or does it push me back to level 1? Buying a luxury car doesn't just cost money. It raises your annual expenses, which means your freedom number gets higher. You are moving the finish line further away. Step 3. Asset allocation. You cannot hold cash. Cash is melting ice. You need a portfolio that targets 8 to 10% annual growth. For most people, this is low-cost index funds like the S&P 500. It's boring. It's not sexy. You won't get rich overnight. But it is the only proven way to outrun the inflation monster over 20 years. Don't try to pick winning stocks. Don't try to time the market. Just buy the whole market and wait. Step 4. The income shovel. You cannot budget your way to millions if you make $30,000 a year. There is a limit to how much you can cut. There is no limit to how much you can earn. In 2026, the two-income trap is real, but the one-income opportunity is also real. The internet allows you to build side income streams with zero overhead. So, let's wrap this up with the truth. You clicked this video because you wanted a number. You wanted me to say, you need 2.5 million to be rich. Sure, that's the benchmark. If you want to feel wealthy in 2026, 2.5 million is the new 1 million. But true wealth is uncoupling your time from your existence. It is waking up in the morning and realizing that you don't have to go to work, but you are choosing to. It is knowing that if the economy crashes, you have 5 years of runway to figure it out. The average American is broke, tired, and medicated. They are chasing a lifestyle they can't afford to impress people they don't like. Don't be average. Be liquid. Start building your agency fund today. Not tomorrow. Today. But I have one final warning for you. As you start trying to build this wealth, the algorithm is going to feed you a lie. It's going to show you videos about passive income. Gurus will tell you that you can make $10,000 a month while you sleep with zero effort. That is the biggest scam in the financial industry. If you chase passive income before you have built real active wealth, you will go broke even faster. I expose the entire passive income lie and the only real way to stop trading time for money in this video right here. Don't fall for the trap. Click this video to see the truth, and I'll see you there.